like to thank Amanda Myers and Michael Hibbler, who continue to be our points of contact here at Johns Hopkins, and their continued support. But I'd like to tell you a story today on why employees and their relationship with art has always played an important role, particularly here at Hopkins. Mr. Andrews, as Mrs. Reederson said, was the founder of the National Arts Program and was a patient here for many years. He's the main reason that this particular show exists here at the hospital. He persisted, and persisted some more until the Hopkins team would host the National Arts Program Employees Show, and in 2008 it became our 7th hospital employee show. He was so grateful for the care that he received here, that he left a gift for the doctor that helped him so much, as he said, Dr. Mario Eisenberger. Over the years, they had many discussions with Mario about travel, about art, and of course about his cancer. Both were fans of the great classic American painter Andrew Wyeth. Leonard would share his own personal stories about Andrew because he was close friends with Mr. Wyeth. Coincidentally, both Leonard and Andrew Wyeth died on the same day, and their obituaries were side by side in the New York Times because of that relationship. And I'm a believer in that things happen for a reason. So I was asked to speak to you today regarding the relevance of our employee art program here and elsewhere. Well, it was here in Johns Hopkins in 1907 that a huge painting was presented depicting the Hopkins Medical School's founding clinical faculty. It is entitled Four Doctors and was painted by the now world-renowned portrait painter John Singer Sargent, whose later portraits included several U.S. presidents. It was also the start of almost every hospital in the country that having their VIPs, their presidents, and their doctors' portraits painted. What better way to honor someone than have their likeness painted and hung for future employees to see? Hopkins alone has a collection of over 325 such paintings. And I bring this up because one such painting here at Hopkins was painted by a teenager, likely the same age as some of you are here today, of your family members. Dr. Helen Tosick was a pediatric cardiologist and a teacher here at Hopkins for over 50 years. When she retired in 1963, her department wanted to commission her portrait. She knew and liked, coincidentally, Andrew Wyeth, and so they wanted him to do the portrait. But at the time, the department couldn't afford it, and the then famous artist said, well, my teenage son, Jamie, he's pretty good, and he would do it if they wanted to. And the price was certainly right. He was 16 years old at the time. This is an extraordinary portrait, if anyone has seen it here. It's very crisp and stark and depicts a very difficult moment in the time of life of Dr. Tosick when she sat for that specific painting. So, of course, Jamie Wyeth is now an American icon. His paintings are defined by his extraordinary depictions of people and moments in time. But again, he was only 16 at the time. So here we are, 50 years later, in a hallway filled with National Arts Program, what we would call commissioned artwork by Johns Hopkins employees. So now one of 23 hospitals across the country that showcase their employee artwork. Are these any different than that one was at the time? A painting by a relative of a friend of an employee of Johns Hopkins. So art has the ability to lift you and expand your horizons. You are to be commended for allowing us to share your artwork with you, with your spouses, with your relatives, and of course, your teenagers. Thank you very much.